What's up guys, welcome to Daily Refinement. In today's video, I want to address what I'm going to do next now that my eBay store is suspended. If you guys didn't watch my last video, I'll put it in the pinned link below. So I was suspended on eBay and the reason was I could not provide invoices for shoes that I sold. I want to clear up 6 things before we get into the 10 things that I want to go over as far as what I could do now that I'm suspended on eBay. So first off, a lot of people had questions about the NDA. So the NDA that I have with eBay that I'm not disclosing is not about my suspension. It's about discounted fees as a volume seller. So I guess it is public knowledge that different stores have different pricing structures. That's what that NDA is about, and I don't have any interest in disclosing that. It's not about the suspension. In fact, during the meeting that I had with eBay, they told me I could say whatever I want on my channel. They have no restrictions on what I can say about the situation. I just prefer not to disclose the discounted fees. Okay, the second one was, a lot of people are asking about Tech and Sports and did he sign off on this? Absolutely not. He's in no way related. I want to make sure everyone knows that there is no one else implicated in this beyond myself. There's no guilty by association. I didn't do business with any other YouTubers. Tech is not involved. Our podcast that released yesterday, we streamed live on YouTube, and he basically tore me a new one. There is nothing. If I had presented this idea to him, he would have said absolutely not. So that being said, another reason why did I even take that risk? Here's the thing. It wouldn't have worked if the eBay sneaker fees weren't zero. Okay, so it doesn't work now. That's why I didn't continue, and that's why I have no issue selling these shoes in the future, because there's no reason to do it. People don't sell collections for cheap amounts of money. There are no invoices on shoes that are 15 years old that were given to people. This shoe is another reason that people were speculating about why I got suspended. This is a Nike Cortez shoe, which is a model with a dunk bottom. This is essentially a prototype. There is no other shoes like this on eBay, and Nike doesn't make this shoe. So did Nike suspend me for selling potential prototypes or samples? I don't think so. I don't think that is the actual reason. I think I got suspended because of high volume and no proof of where I got the items. So that's called like provenance. Where did these shoes come from? I can just say they were given to a celebrity. There are no invoices from Nike shoes given to celebrities. So those don't count. I can't have my friend write up a fake invoice and send it to me. And I think eBay knows that, because they said you did not produce enough information on these items, and they're assuming I cannot come up with it. They didn't say, can you send a different invoice? They said, you can't provide the information, meaning there is no information on it. Okay. Also, one more thing I want to address happened a long time ago. I stopped selling shoes January 19th that were high value because the sneaker fee promotion went away. Even though I got discounted fees, not after that with my NDA, I did not continue to sell shoes. It just doesn't make sense. The fees structure on shoes is still too high to make it worth it to sell high-end collections. So just clearing that up, that's why I got suspended. There's been a lot of questions. Actually, not too much speculation, to be honest. I think it's pretty cut and dry why I was suspended. High volume, no invoices is the reason. So I want to go over 10 things that I can do right now that I'm suspended on eBay, and I want to go over the pros and cons of all these things. Number one, and this kind of makes the most sense in my situation, not for everybody else, but it's to actually open a Shopify store. So if I open a Shopify store under my account, dailyrefinement.com, which I have on my website, I go over some tutorials on how to run in eBay store. I could just have the 1,000 items that I source every single week on my website. I would not have to pay any platform fees. So eBay, I was paying $5,000 plus per month. I could get another employee with that to help me organize the inventory in my Shopify store. Although listing items in a Shopify store is easier than listing on eBay. eBay has a lot more item specifics and more things to cover, more rules. Shopify has a much better combined shipping platform. And that was my main issue with eBay, was people buying 4, 5, 6, 10 items to resell. It's hard to combine the shipping on eBay and make it easy without offering free shipping. And I don't want to offer free shipping. I want to do something like Whatnot, where it's $1 more per item, or Poshmark bundling, where up to £5 is one shipment label. So Shopify with my own items gives me room, but I have to do my own marketing. So should I use my YouTube channel and say to my audience, okay, can you guys help me out? Go to my store, buy one of those 1,000 items. I would prefer not to do that. I would prefer to use somebody else's audience. That's why I liked selling on eBay. And that's why it's so unfortunate that I can't sell on the platform anymore, because eBay's #1 for this type of good, used clothing. And for the record, eBay had no issue with me doing volume of 700K of used clothing. They don't care. There was never any issue with that. They did also say that during my meeting with them, that that did not raise any red flags whatsoever. Okay, so number 2, maybe that makes the most sense is just switch to Whatnot or PopShop Live or any live streaming app. I know the live streaming is also coming to Shopify. So I could just tell my audience, every Thursday, I'm going to auction off all 1,000 pieces. Christina and I box it up all after we're done, send it out. That has really, really low overhead. I could do that at home. I don't need to pay any overhead or electricity. I would just need the space for 1,000 items, which is the equivalent of like 1.5 Priuses. That's how much inventory that is. So if I get an SUV or a truck, I could just do it out of the back of a truck. This is what I got today. Launch it all. And that being said, there is a coupon code in the description for Whatnot for $10. If you want to buy part of my eBay store, I'm going to sell it and deconstruct this entire store over the next week. I am not going to circumvent any eBay structure. I'm not going to sell on eBay anymore. So I'm going to sell these boxes with approximately 20 items in them for $140 plus shipping. So that's $7 per piece. I'm going to be selling the whole store. Some of the boxes are worth a lot. You'll double your money, triple your money. Some of them you'll just make a little bit over. So if I've given you guys value over the years and you want to support the channel, maybe buy a piece of my store to help me move on to the next thing that I end up doing. Might be Whatnot. Whatnot has great combined shipping, so more than one item ships for $1. So people end up buying 2 wholesale boxes, second wholesale box ships for $1, and it makes it a lot more worth it. Okay. Next would just be straight wholesale. That would be number 3. I have 1,000 pieces per week. I've already had multiple offers to buy my entire store outright right now. I have multiple offers of just sending all my inventory to one supplier. That's pretty easy. That means I go to the flea market, thrift stores, gather up all my goods. I become a buyer. I just buy for one store. That's very easy. I would prefer wholesale because it gives me a few more customers. Like if I had 100 or 1,000 customers, that's more safe to me than just supplying one store. But that is very, very, that's like the most transferable skill I have, is buying the brands. I know what styles sell. I know what brands sell. I know how to check for defects. I could become the buyer for a big store if I decide to go that route. Number 4, I could do eBay consulting. A couple of days ago, we polled our Patreon group, which has 2,000 people in it, and asked, what should we do? Should we continue the group? Should we shut it down? Should I be kicked out of my own group and let Tech and Sports run it because I sullied his name? But the response is pretty overwhelming. A lot of people wanted me to stay, continue, do eBay consulting, review people's stores, go to people's homes, check out their inventory, help them. Don't own any of it, because I'm not allowed to be an owner of any eBay store in the future. So just go help people out, be an eBay consultant, and continue the podcast with Tech and Sports, which is very popular. So I think that that's a very reasonable thing to do and continue. And our store actually grew after I was suspended. So it means that we've built a thriving community of people who are like-minded and trying to grow. And this hasn't really messed that up at all, which is, obviously, I'm very grateful for building a community like that. There are over 10 coaches in the group that teach different categories, clothing, shoes, and all of those categories, all those coaches, they put in a ton of work over the years building that group up. There are literally thousands of hours of content. So couldn't have done it without them. Want to continue that. So eBay consulting, I will continue to do on my YouTube channel, even though I do not have an eBay store anymore. And as they say, some sports coaches don't play sports anymore. So that's just something to consider. Number 5 would be Amazon. I would consider that one of my top platforms I could switch to. I have a perfect Amazon account. Right now, it's still under my name. You could look it up. Daily Refinement is the name of my Amazon username. I should probably change that before I go into it deeper, because on Amazon, you don't really share what you find or what you sell things for, your pricing structure, because your competition can easily hop up on you. So if I were going to be on Amazon, I would either go private label, sell my own products, sell my own goods. That's not something I necessarily want to do. It's very expensive. I talked to my wife about it yesterday. She's like, do we want to sink all of our cash into developing a product that may not work? She prefers to be in the resale market where the risk is much lower. So that's, to me, interesting. Could I be a big FBA seller? Probably. Again, I'm not in a hurry this time. I'm going to do things right, take my time, no shortcuts. I'm not going to try to, like, here's the thing that happens as an Amazon seller. You get an opportunity like, hey, do you want to buy these 500 televisions for 50% off? And you do the math and it seems fine, send it in. Same thing will happen to you as what happened on eBay. The invoices that you got from whoever you bought it from will not suffice. You're not a real supplier. It's not Best Buy or Samsung or LG selling those shoes to you. It's considered gray market, and you know, that's an issue. So on Amazon, I would want to do it right, find a real distributor and do my best to do it that way. One downside of that is the content for Amazon, in my opinion, is terrible because I can't really share what I'm buying. So it doesn't make for a very good YouTube channel. And I want the security of my company to be there. And I don't feel that secure on Amazon being a retailer because finding brand new items to sell is very boring and dry. Christine and I will never run out of content if I remain a reseller, selling goods that already exist back into the market. I guess there is one more danger. If I were to lose my suppliers, all of them, then Christine and I would have to be forced to find something cool every single week, which is hard. We're going to find interesting stuff organically because of my buying. I'm buying so much stuff. We're going to find a lot of stuff that along the way. So Amazon, definitely an option. Next would be a brick and mortar. And there's two different kinds of brick and mortars I would consider. One is a thrift store. So what that means is I would take input. People would bring items to sell, or they give items to donate. I would sort through everything, decide what goes into the retail store, what goes to other resellers, maybe have my own website. Do not have an eBay store because I can't. So I know some people are saying, why can't you just open up an account in your wife's name? Or let's say I have a thrift store, ABC thrift store, open up the eBay store in the ABC thrift store name. How would they know it's me? They wouldn't know it's me. I would have a different IP address, different name, different items, but I'm not going to do that. I have no interest in circumventing the eBay system. I don't want to have problems sleeping at night. I have no interest in that. So brick and mortar, I would do input, like buy, sell, trade. Stuff comes in, flows back out. Like Buffalo Exchange or Plato's Closet, they don't sell the stuff on their website. They sell it in person at the store. Or I could just open a thrift store. People go there and get goods, or a used item store, or a recycled store. You come in, buy goods. I just do the same thing, but only in person. So that is a little bit more expensive than people think because the brick and mortar, electricity, insurance, and I had to get into a high traffic area, which has some its own issues, like parking. I'd have to find parking for myself, Christine, employees. That takes up a lot of time and a lot of resources to have a high traffic area. So I don't know, brick and mortar, I like the idea, but I also recognize that it's expensive. So if in the front of my store, I had an area where I taught eBay sellers how to work the system, I would enjoy that. So maybe I can do a thrift store / resource learning center. Number 7 would be Mercari. I don't like Mercari. You can only list one item at a time, meaning if you have two quantity, when it ends, you have to relist the same item again. I don't want to do that. Mercari, I think, is just built for buying. It's not really seller friendly. There are no store tools. It's not easy to bulk edit items. And I want to do thousands of items and make a lot of money. And Mercari seems like a bit of a grind to me to just manually do everything one at a time. I don't like that concept. So probably not going to do Mercari. Not going to do Poshmark because I think Poshmark's ship has been sinking the last couple of years. A lot of people have lost interest in the website. It's not that interesting. I don't like the sharing aspect. I don't like working with bots. I don't like programming my own macros to do the sharing for me. So going to avoid Poshmark and Mercari. That's number 7 and 8. Number 9 is Etsy. So Etsy is not something I want to really do because I don't have enough vintage items. I don't hand make anything, and upcycling can be iffy, as Christine was saying. Like as an example, this pair of jeans, but this is a little bit iffy because it's not truly handmade. It's just, basically altering an already named brand item. And these are Levi's, but they're not vintage Levi's. These are modern Levi's with, some embroidery on the front. So I don't have vintage, no handmade, no upcycled items. So don't really want to move that way towards Etsy. And then number 10 is I could get a job. So I feel like I have enough skills to transfer to work for somebody else. When I got suspended, my email box is flooded with different opportunities, including working for somebody else. So I know talent is hard to find reliable people. I've also said on my YouTube videos that I'm a much better number 2 than a number 1. I'm an excellent employee. And I would say I'm an okay entrepreneur. I'm better at doing what people say. That's why the podcast has been so successful, in a sense that I'm just doing the podcast and running the group as tech set it up. I was running the eBay store how I wanted to do it, and look where that got me. So I'm much better number 2. So getting a job is not a terrible idea. If somebody took over the Daily Refinement brand on YouTube and I was just the speaker, that probably would explode, because I could fulfill my role in the company better than running all the things. And running all the things is a different skill set. It requires your full focus. Very difficult. So guys, as being an entrepreneur, you have to judge all these different things. I appreciate you guys following me and supporting me through this difficult and challenging time. Appreciate you guys. Until next time, make progress daily.